using rest rotate. Awesome. So now I'm going to move on to the Vest Generator, which makes things a lot more easier. I'm going to turn this off. Geometry here. Vest HDA. Now, first of all, you need to install the HDA. So I will give you the HDA for Perk 1 and Perk 2 users. I'll show you how to install it. So this is what you're going to get, these two files. What you do, come here, assets, install asset library. So I'm only going to install into this particular HIP file just because it's still in the process. Like I'm going to have version 2, version 3, like an update sooner or later. And you don't want to install that onto your scanned asset libraries. This will install onto every single instance, like to the main library of Houdini. And it'll be installed across your whole computer. So I'm just going to click that, accept, click install, current HIP file only. Now when you go into here, to check if it's actually there, tab, Vest, and it will be these two ones. So let's create the patches. Let's see how simple it is to create the patches using my HDA. So there's 3 inputs we need. A box, which will be going over the shape of Tommy, his body, the tube, which is the neckline, and another tube for the arms. Let's do that. Box. There's also 4 inputs I should mention. This is the input that you can visualize. So this is not used for anything. It's just to visualize it. Visualize patches. This is the clothing patches. This is the clothing flat patches. This is like the rotation trick that I showed you before. And this is the arm hold. This is for in the future. I want to procedurally make sleeves for the vest. So this is not used now. Okay, but to visualize it, we need enough data first. So I'm going to put in the box a tube here. Now the tube needs to be facing the front, like sideways, like this way. The Z, it has to be a polygon and end cap it. Okay, and then I'm going to have another tube. So the same thing with the arms. This way and end cap it. Okay, let's manipulate this. Let's go to the box. Press enter. You can actually manually do this. Let me make it a little larger. Let's see if I can quickly do this. Here. So however length you want the vest to be. And you can also do it in wireframe. So come over here, wireframe. So that will help. Try to have it close to his body, because when it snaps, for the vellum drape to snap, it'll be a little easier. That's surrounding his, oops. This is surrounding his body. It's covering, it's like a box costume right now. That's what you want. I need to know where his body is. Let's do the tube. Now this is the neck. So it's best to manipulate this with the front view. Wireframe. Okay, let me drop down a transform. I can't see the widget for some strange reason. Here. Go up. I'm going to scale it down. Go up. Don't know why my W isn't working. There you go. So that's where his face is. Tube. I'm going to get another transform node. I'm going to do the front again. Let's do it here. Let's do it smaller. Okay. Once you have that sort of in position, what you can do is come out and you can actually visualize it once you have them somewhat in the right position. Oh, so you can see that this is too far off. Come to the box again, enter, and let's just fix this. So it's much easier to fix when you actually see the whole thing. So that's what this is for. But leave a bit of room though. Don't go too far off. I know Tommy is thin, but you leave a bit of room for the vellum drape. I think that would do. Let's just work with that. Now, let's bring in the Vest Generate That's this one. And this will run the whole thing for you. 1 second. So what we have here first. What this Vellum generate patches will do first. Here we have our patches. You can see that it's nicely created here with the slit in the middle and everything. Clothing patches. I also exposed this one, which rotates it for you accordingly. So it's like one piece. I give you both just because, who knows, you might want that seam patch. And that's another thing I wanted to. Now this is where the seam patches come in handy. So in previously when I showed you where we had the patches, there it was actually in islands. You can actually paint around the islands. So in Substance Painter, it allows you to manually paint it in, and you can paint seam lines, and it actually looks pretty nice. So that's where the seam lines come in handy. So if this is a way that you don't want, this is not always the greatest way to do it. If you prefer the look of this, so you can easily paint around it, which will give you results like this. So you can paint these nice seam lines like here. I'm gonna see if I can look at the UVs. Okay, so you can see the UVs here. So basically, this is fed into Substance Painter, and I would trace my way around it, but on the 3D model. I mean, you can trace it on the UV, I guess, but I was tracing it here, so it's much easier to do it like that. So that's where the islands come in handy. So I expose both of them out for you in case, so you have a choice. And this last input is the arm geometry, which is not used yet. This is for the sleeves. This is prepping for the next one. And what you do, you pick which one you want. Well, right now it doesn't really matter. It will matter in just a second. So I will just stick this one into my clothes patch to generate the clothing. The armhole, which is this one. And then this one, I need the collision geometry, which is Tommy. I haven't brought that into this context yet. So I'm going to use an agent node to bring in Tommy, which is a mocap character created from the shelf tool over here. This one. Now this uses the old Houdini way of rigging. Like, it doesn't use kinefx, it uses the bone thing. So the easiest way to bring Tommy into this context, I find, is to use an agent node. But the agent node is meant for crowds. It just works nicely in this case. And you just pick it, and then there's Tommy. But you lose all that textures just because the agent node packs it all into this one point. It's all packed geometry. So if you really want to get your textures back in, you can go agent unpack, and you'll get all that back. You'll get all the points too. So we feed in collision geometry in here. We feed Tommy into the last input. Okay, I'm gonna template him and then run it. Voila. So I thought this HDA was very convenient. Now, there's one thing. UV labs UV. So there's no UVs for it, or I haven't created UVs for it. The HDA doesn't create it automatically for you. So you look here, there's no UVs. There's nothing. 5. Oh, that's Tommy's UVs. Okay, let's not template that. Okay, there. There's no UVs. You will have to UV it yourself. I will add it procedurally into the HDA in the future. So here you can choose that 2 ways. You can just UV project it like this. So I'm just gonna grab this. You can do it like this, and then just rerun the scene. And there's UVs, but this is disconnected. If this is the one you prefer, or I'm just gonna create more real estate. UV project this one, which is the flat one. This one. Just throw in a UV project here, which looks like this. So just replace this line. So we're no longer using this one. We're using this one. So I need to replace it into the first input. That's what it's asking for. Closing patches. Which one do you want? Rerun it. Give it a second. There you go. Nice UVs. Nice seamless UVs. On the hips, at least. So let me know in the comments. I find that I really like creating HDAs now. I don't know why. Material UV. Michael, thanks for doing this bubble pins. Awesome. I'm glad. It was very fun. I really enjoyed creating these HDAs. Jojo, thanks for the HDA. Awesome. Awesome. Thanks for using it. Oh, I haven't actually released it yet, but I hope people will use it. At least try it out. And I'm going to be releasing the teddy bear with the texture, so you can try and create a vest for Oliver, and then, I don't know, throw in a picture. Throw in a texture on it. I can demo how to paint the stitches in Painter. I don't know if anyone's interested in that, or you want to see me